This week's episode is brought to you by Capital Financial Advisory Group for all your retirement needs.
Broadcasting from coast to coast, it's the Financial Safari with your host, Coach Pete D'Arruda. You'll hear from some of the nation's top financial professionals. So stick around and find out how to make it through the jungle of the financial world, right here on the Financial Safari.
Welcome once again to Financial Safari. We give you some great strategies to consider in your pre-retirement and in-retirement plan. And to do that, none other than Coach Pete's local trusted advisor. That would be Gregg Berrian. Gregg, I love what you've got here today. SCAMS. This is a great service you're offering on the show today.
Man, I love talking about scams.
Yeah. You gave me a big number.
Yeah.
Scams, a dollar amount Americans fall victim to.
Every year, folks, just so you know, I have to go out and I have to do all kinds of training for every single thing that we do. One of the trainings I had to go through, and they talked about scams. Finally, they introduced something new and different.
Yeah, okay.
And $5.8 billion last year in 2022.
Wow.
Was Americans lost to scams.
To scams.
And most of it for the elderly.
Yeah, not a shock there, and we're all familiar with those. We're going to run through as many as we can get to in the segment. I'll just say that. Let's start with this, the romance scam. I'm guessing dating sites.
Can you say catfish?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And you know, these are the cases in which some, you know, first of all, sometimes, especially the elderly, they're lonely, they lost their spouses, they're looking for companionship. So sure enough, there's some dirtbags out there, and I can say dirtbags.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're out there to take advantage of those poor people, in which they pretend to, you know, fall in love with them, and then, you know, all of a sudden, hey, I need some money for this, and next thing you know, they're sending a couple $1,000 a month to these folks that are just horrible people.
Yeah, they are, and just never send money. Here's another one. All right, grandparent scam. Now you're going to get me riled, and you got to watch it with AI can mimic voices.
Yeah. You know, and here's the thing here's the thing also is a lot of people are out there. They're putting all their information out there on Facebook. Okay, including videos, including sounds, including voices, of which AI can take this in. And so I can call you up, Grandma, it's Gregg. I'm in trouble. I need $10,000.
I'm in jail.
And it sounds just like me.
Yes, yeah.
And you know, so what I want to advise, you know, because you want to be able to circumvent this, of which you have kind of like a code word or a safe word, which you share with your children and your grandchildren, saying, if you need something, if something happens, this is the word that we have to pass back and forth, because, you know, the bad guys don't know that. We got to stay a step ahead of the bad guys.
Something like Bosco.
Bosco. So Bosco's no longer a safe word, because the whole world now knows
We've eliminated
Bosco.
that one.
Yeah, we'll eliminate Bosco.
Other than that,
but scammers stink. You know?
This is the government agency scam. Let me ask you this: would the IRS ever call you?
No.
Okay.
The IRS, nor the FBI, nor the CIA should or will call you. Everything is going to be done through the mail for you. So, and also, if they reach out to you via website, through your email, you have to look at the URL. Anytime but anybody reaches out to you in an email, you know, this happens, like I've seen this, oh, your Amazon account has a problem. All right, and then you look at where it's coming from. It's like this really, really long, URL. Right. That's not Amazon. That's a bad guy in some foreign country trying to steal your money or or steal your personal information so they can go out and they can get your money.
I know when I go to a government site, I am extremely careful to make sure that I've spelled everything exactly right and that it is GOV.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Anything coming from the government will be .gov. Okay. Absolutely. And so therefore, you want to make sure that whoever's contacting you, and even if you're still not sure, you know, so if you're out there, if you're elderly, you're not really tuned into what's going on in the world out there, and you want to, reach out to one of your kids. One of your grandkids, or somebody who's trusted, say, I got this. What is this? What do you think? You know, it's like, we've already trained my mother. If you don't recognize the phone number, don't pick it up. That's why she hasn't picked up my phone call in a while.
It's like, Mom, you can answer for me.
The check's in the mail, Mom.
Right. We're going through scams to be aware of, and got a couple more to get to. Advance fee scam. What's that?
The old classic Nigerian prince.
Oh.
Old school, baby.
Yeah, that's old school.
Old school, the Nigerian prince,
Yeah.
Of which, you've just received. You're going to get money from a dead relative. Fine, if you have a relative that was really rich, we all know about that person. Everybody knows about the rich relatives.
Right.
Okay, but you're in line to inherit all this money, but you have to pay the taxes in advance.
Yes.
Pay those taxes in advance and you'd be all set. It's like, no. That is a scam.
That's a scam. And well, with the relationship you have with the people you work with and that we work with at Capital Financial, if they're ever in doubt in any financial matters, they should call.
We're a brick and mortar building.
Call us.
Okay, all my clients have my cell phone.
Yeah.
And so absolutely, if you're curious about something, if you're not sure about something, if you feel, it's like one of our companies reaches out to you, and you're going, huh? Okay, right. Call us up.
Yes.
That's what the point. That's why we exist. We're here to protect you. We're here to protect our clients, take care of our folks. Okay, and I'm very ferocious when it comes to just the other day. One thing that's really, really bad out there right now is the Affordable Health Care Act.
Mm-hmm.
One of my clients, she's been with me for years, calls me up from the emergency room. Okay, I've taken care of this lady and her family for years. She says, Greg, I don't have insurance.
Uh-oh.
No, you're perfect. She says, I've been making my payments, but they tell me I don't have insurance. I opened up her account, and in the Affordable Health Care Act, you only need 3 things to steal somebody's policy: their name, their zip code, okay, and their date of birth.
That's it.
That's it. And so it kind of cycled through to 2 different people. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I got the NPN numbers for all these people.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm coming after them.
Yeah.
They took the case, they let it drop, and now when this person needed that care the most, she lost it. So you got to be vigilant on that.
Scary. What happened with that?
I saved everything.
Okay.
I saved everything. We called up the marketplace and took care of everything. But still the same, it's a great inconvenience and we're looking a bit of a lapse coverage as well. Mm. So, it's just brutal.
Yeah. Well, we've got a minute and a half here. We've got time for one more. The account takeover scandal. That sounds like what you just said.
Yeah, exactly. That was stolen, and so now I've got everything back to normal. But one thing I kind of, when I was watching this, when I was reading this, I'm going, something, I need to take extra care for my people, for my clients. And one thing I'm going to do from this point on, or actually reach out to all of them, give all my clients a word that they can write into their documents, that they know that, that I'll say, this is the word that we work with, our safe word, in which they'll know they're talking to me. They're not talking to AI. They're not talking to some bot. They're actually talking to me. And so therefore we both have to have that same word to be able to communicate. That's that's a really kind of low-tech way of handling a high-tech theft.
Right. Sometimes the low-tech works best.
Sometimes low-tech works the best.
Absolutely. We need to be aware, and especially with AI, especially growing exponentially, there's a greater chance we could become a victim of scam. And they're out there. It's a lot of them. Greg wants to make you aware. Greg and the team would also like to talk to you about your retirement plan, give you a look at it. If you'd like to come in for a comprehensive review and at no cost, no obligation, just call the number on your screen. And there's more Financial Safari coming up.
Memories with Grandpa.
My first job.
My 4th job.
Crazy road trips.
Our first date. Meeting our son.
Exploring our world.
Our world. Family and friends. Our special song.
Secure your retirement by meeting with a financial advisor.
Let me compare a couple of different options that are available to you right now besides fixed index annuities. You can compare this to your current 401k. Well, the 401k is great. It's done a great job of building your money up. The problem is it doesn't do a great job of helping you distribute that money to yourself over your lifetime. You can take a lump sum from your 401k, but you can't take lifetime income in there in a structured way because they don't offer that. And there's no guarantee that you won't run out of money. So 401k, good at building, bad at distributing. That's why we can roll that money tax-free into our very own fixed indexed annuity strategy with lifetime income. We call it a growth protection income account. Your money will grow, it'll lock that growth in, it'll protect that growth, and then it'll give you an income you can never outlive in the future. So that's why it grows, it protects that growth, it gives you lifetime income you can never outlive. Now, let's look at other annuities. We've got the variable annuity out there. A lot of brokerages sell the variable annuity. Now, I really mean that word sell too, because I have been licensed to offer variable annuities for over 30 years. I have not offered a single one to a client because none of them made sense. So these have to be sold, not bought. In other words, you need a salesperson to make it look real good so you can get into it, then wonder what you got into. I don't advise variable annuities. Some people like them. I don't like them. I don't like the way you could lose your money. Your principal could be gone. And what good is it to have a retirement plan if your retirement plan is not there when you need it the most? Fixed annuities. Fixed annuities are great. They give you a standard amount of interest for a standard amount of time, sort of like a CD in the bank. It's not going to give you that growth potential you have in the fixed indexed annuity. Keep in mind, fixed indexed annuity, you're not going to get rich. You're not going to get poor. If you want market results, you are in the market. But the problem with market results, they go up and they go down. So if you want to eliminate the downside, there's no better option than a fixed indexed annuity. Over time, it will outperform a fixed annuity because the fixed annuity doesn't give you that upside potential that the fixed index does. But both of those, fixed and fixed index, give you the downside protection where you can never lose the money you put in due to market losses. Very, very important to understand everything that's out there in the world, especially the annuity world. Immediate annuity, you may have heard that before. It's also called an income annuity. That's when you give the insurance company a lump sum and they immediately start giving you an income. Now, this income can either be for life or it can be for a term certain. In other words, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and then it evaporates, it's gone because all the money's gone. So lifetime annuities, income annuities, fixed indexed annuities all make a lot of sense if we're trying to protect our money, have a great retirement, and not worried about what's happened in the market every single day. So to recap, it's important to look at where you are right now, have that diversification where you have some money in risk, some money in safety, but safe doesn't have to be boring. Money in a fixed indexed annuity can give you upside potential while making sure you have no downside and give you lifetime income you can never outlive. Now, the important thing about the lifetime income is that let's say you start taking lifetime income from this fixed indexed annuity and you live 30 years, you're still getting income, but the balance has gone down to zero. The last 7 years, the balance has been zero, but you still get income. You will never outlive your income in a fixed indexed annuity, even if your balance goes to zero. Now, let's say you pass away. Your spouse continues to get that same income for the rest of his or her life. Let's say you both pass away too soon. Whatever you put in goes to your next of kin. You've already assigned who's the chain of command, who's going to get that money when you're not here. So you never lose your money if done right. So make sure you're in the proper fixed indexed annuity. There's a lot of them out there. You may not be in the right one. Get an annuity review as soon as possible. Coach Pete here. We'll see you next time.
Our belief is a major concern is longevity risk.
I talk to some people almost every day who don't want to retire.
And that assumption is the market's just going to go up and up and up and up and up.
But once you reach 70, there's no benefit to working anymore unless you like to work.
You won't hit 80, 85 years old and run out of money.
Unfortunately, in the world we live in, there's many times where people show up to work and they're told they're not needed anymore.
Is you got to make sure you have your budget and you have your assets set up in position to take you out all the way to 110.
The first 10 to 15 years of retirement is when you should do all the fun things because there's no guarantees in life. The day you wake up today could be the last healthy day, so make sure you treat it that way and do everything you want to do when you can do it.
Talking about the last time we did a show together, the Visionary Engines, and I checked it out at PeteOnDemand.com. I mean, you've got everything from the future benefits predictor to the 401k power illustrator. It's a lot there.
Yeah, Visionary Engines. In other words, you can hypothetically put different numbers in to see what really could happen. You envision things happening. So it's sort of like the old financial calculators, but these are financial calculators on steroids.
Yeah.
You can go to visionaryengines.com or PeteOnDemand.com to get a look at that yourself. It's no cost or obligation for these calculators and visionary engines, and it really does put you in control. It's good to see, Dave. I mean, if you do certain things, what could happen, right? Dave, someone has $100,000. That's all the money they have. They say, Coach, I'm putting it all in the market because I need to catch up to where my neighbors are. And then the next year, the market goes down 30%. So it went from 100,000 down to 70,000. Yeah. Say, I'm not stressing, Coach. All I have to do is earn 30% back next year, and I'll be back to even. True or false statement?
I'd say that's false.
Yes, because you're down 30%, which is down to 70,000. You lost 30,000. To get it back to 100,000, you have to gain 43% just to get back to where you started. Yeah. I don't see many stocks up 43% in 1 year. Some are. Yeah. Hey, I'm not saying not, but I mean, is that a safe and certain strategy? No. And so that's why you need to have the core filled up first before we ever look at the Explorer. And again, it's counterintuitive than what you hear from all the Wall Street folks that are spending millions of dollars a day telling you to put all your money at risk.
Hey everyone, Thomas here with Broadcasting Experts. I am always impressed with what folks can do in just a short amount of time in our studios. Wanted to tell you about a recent example of this. Whitaker & Hamer, a triangle-based law firm, recently came in, spent 3.5 hours in our studio. All they had to do when they came in, we had the studio prep for them, of course, like we always do. They came in, we mic'd them up, and they began cutting content. 3.5 hours later, they were able to walk away, and guess what they had to show for it? If I select the final videos Jose has finished editing, there are 19 short programs and 5 commercials totaling an hour and 53 minutes of finished video content. Professional, high-end video full of interesting information about their firm. And all of this was accomplished and delivered to the client in less than 12 working hours after they left our building, which I find absolutely incredible. I love that our team can do this. And the audio could even be used for podcasting efforts. Don't forget, we produce a large amount of podcast and radio content here as well. This could be you just as easy. You can walk away with professional, high-end content produced without a lot of hassle. It's what we love to do here at Broadcasting Experts. So give us a call. We'd love to set up a tour of the studio with you.
A question about pensions and 401ks. His pension was phased out about 10 years ago. Right. He's been contributing to a 401k since then. What happens to that pension that he paid all those years into?
It becomes what's classified as a cash balance plan. When they freeze or stop pensions, you don't lose the money. Once what was vested in there under you, it's
not going to build it up anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. It's pretty much sitting stagnant. And when he leaves, he'll get a lump sum option to roll it with his 401k to his outside retirement account once he's done from employee to retired. Okay. But the problem is exactly what Coach just mentioned, is it's stagnant. Now they do sometimes tie it to like bonds and certain rates, but they're still only averaging about 3 to 4%. So it's pretty much just like a glorified tax deferred cash account. Yeah. But the thing is, when you leave, it is your money. But the problem is with that is it becomes your money as a lump sum, pretty much leaving a cash position. This is where a lot of brokers and bankers get in trouble, is they put it into like mutual funds and stock portfolios in a lump sum at one time in retirement. No dollar cost. It's not like they have a runway. Yeah, no dollar cost. They don't have a runway. So the strategies we incorporate with guarantees that combine that with market participation, there is no market timing risk. So it's a great tool being able to purchase your own retirement income stream, keeping access to the principal, keeping the legacy intact, knowing you can adjust the faucet, not the color on the screen, and it's not use it or lose it where you die, it stops like most pensions did. It goes for your spouse, it goes to your heirs, keeping the ball in your court. It's not a great option to just take it and run and dump it in the most popular mutual fund each day.
We certainly hear a lot about the lump sum option with a pension and which way they go.
It depends on the rates. It depends on what they're offering. It depends on what bonds that company bought on that pension. There were some good ones, Coach. You saw some where they were as high as like an 8 to 10% payout.
Simple solution, Steve. Yeah. If you're offered something like that, give us a call. We'll put together for you. We're independent. I mean, that means we can go all across the financial world and find what makes sense to you, and then put a spreadsheet together or different plans together, and you get to choose. Hey, if you do option A, here's what happens. Option B, option C, or stay where you're at.
Do you hear that? That's me enjoying my retirement. Traveling around the world to play golf, where I want, when I want, with whomever I want. Even got some customized clubs. Because years ago, I rolled over my IRA with the help of a local trusted advisor. Contact us to get started today. This is a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review to help educate and enlighten.
We're back with Financial Safari. I'm consumer advocate Dave Perkins with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Gregg Berrian. You know, the team at Capital Financial, they're very passionate about matching you up and showing you what those good custom strategies could be, especially if you're in that financial red zone. But even if you're retired, you're having second thoughts about maybe what plan you already have, they'd love to talk to you about it. Take a look at it. It's a great second opinion opportunity as well. Greg, you always you whet our appetite for retirement with hypothetical scenarios we call strategy du jour.
Oh,
indeed. Yeah. Got a little French in you. That's right. That's why we call it. Okay.
I was just with a group of people far away. Okay, a lot of advisors that we work with and some great people, and you know it's a great time to talk and compare notes and things like that. And I learned about this new company that's working out there. And currently, this one company is actually available in South Carolina. It's going to be in North Carolina in 2025. And they have a strategy that's really, really outstanding for guaranteed income for life, no matter what happens.
Which we'd all like to have.
That's what it's all about.
So you told me you've got a hypothetical 60-year-old man.
Yeah.
$500,000. He wants to turn on this personal pension, if you will, at 65.
First thing Monday morning when I got back, I called up Tricia, said, I want to know more about this. Send me an illustration.
Okay, so that's what she said.
So we have $500,000, 60 years old, turning income on at 65. But there's different buckets when it comes to this kind of strategy. There's an income bucket and also an income account bucket. What they're going to do the day that starts is they're going to put 32% in your income account bucket.
Automatically.
Automatically. So that $500,000 turns into $720,000.
Okay.
Then there's a roll up. Every year they're going to give you 12% more.
Every year?
Every year.
Okay.
So when you turn your income on 5 years from now, what's going to happen is now instead of that $500,000, your income account bucket is going to have $960,000.
That's nice.
That's nice. And so then what you're going to be drawing on that same person is $55,200 guaranteed. 5 years after you put $500,000 into it.
Wow.
All right, that's 10%, over 10% of what you actually put into it.
That's when it
as far as you're taking money out.
Yeah.
So at this rate, this money runs out in 10-year period. It runs out. But here's the deal, David. Keep getting it. You keep getting that $55,000
for life,
as long as you're alive.
And we were talking earlier. What's that like 10%? We talk about the 4% rule. This is the 10%. 10%,
the 10% rule.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's absolutely insane. And so basically, let's say you live to age 85 years old and you finally pass away 85, okay? You would have taken in, received out of your $500,000, $1,324,000.
And 500 still sitting there.
No, that's all gone.
Oh, that's
all gone.
Okay,
that's all gone. That went away years and years ago.
But that's what you wanted,
You've still been getting paid.
You wanted to get that money.
That's the whole point.
Now I get it. Okay.
It's the pension. It's creating that pension for the rest of your life, guaranteed.
Nice. And not to mention, he or she would have Social Security, maybe some other streams of income.
Oh yeah, that's only a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's a small piece of the puzzle. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, see, these are relatable. If you'd like to talk about your life, your retirement, call the number on your screen. Greg, we have over 10,000 people a day, or some 10,000 boomers a day turning 65. So we're going to spend a few minutes here talking about what kind of strain that could put on some of our cherished programs.
Okay, I'm going to take this time also to I got to say this. You know, we are launching in about a week.
Okay.
Our Medicare online website.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be amazing. It's absolutely outstanding. It's called 30-Minute Medicare. We're going to teach you everything you need to know in a matter of 30 minutes. About Medicare. So when it comes time to make that decision, we'll be able to help you take care of that as well. I'm personally training all the people I'm working with on that. But yeah, as a matter of fact, more people turn 65 this time.
This is peak 65.
In history.
Yeah, this is peak 65.
Peak
they're calling
65.
This year.
Peak 65, and I'm one of those guys next month in August.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, and you've gone through the mechanisms of signing up for Medicare.
I've already signed up for Medicare. Since I'm not taking Social Security, it only took me like 5-10 minutes. and I got my Medicare card in about 2.5 weeks.
Okay, that's good.
It was pretty efficient.
Medicare is what a lot of people are concerned about, and Social Security, with the graying of America and the strain on those two entities.
It is definitely going to be a strain, and as a matter of fact, there's some big changes coming up on Medicare coming up this year. They're talking about actually putting a cap, a $2,000 cap on the, I don't know exactly how this is going to take place. I haven't been privy to that information yet, but on your drug costs. Which, here's the thing is, when you do that, it helps people who take a lot of drugs. Because I've seen some people have to spend $7,000, $8,000 a year on drugs, and some people don't spend anything. So the people who don't spend anything on drugs, they're going to feel it on the negative way. The people that spend a lot of money on drugs, they're going to feel it in a positive way. It's just like when Obamacare came in, it was awesome that all of a sudden people who couldn't get insurance can get insurance.
Right.
But what did it do to the rates overall? They tripled.
Yeah.
So whenever you fuss with the system, okay,
right.
there's always going to be always going to be something that the repercussions.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I mean, so we have to get strategic with Social Security and Medicare and let government see what they're going to do. It's a wait and see on that as far as what they suggest. But what about overall health care services? What should we do proactively, knowing that the graying of America will put a strain on that?
Well, first of all, you want to make sure all your health care is in place, okay? Yeah. And you want to make sure that what you have are good, solid companies that you're working with. There are some companies out there that I just don't work with, okay, because I don't trust them. So I work with companies that I know are solid. They got good financials, and they're just really good customer service based products. So
if you're pre-65,
so you really need somebody like me to literally walk you through this.
It's a jungle. This is the financial safari.
Yeah, it is a jungle.
You're the safari guide in many ways through this. What if you're pre-65? Should you look at and see at least if you're eligible for an HSA?
Well, of course you can get an HSA, but you have to have actually an HSA plan.
Okay.
Okay. You can't, like, let's say you have a particular plan through the Affordable Health Care Act, and it's not HSA compliant, then you can't put money into an HSA. You have to have, and the HSA plans are generally high deductible, no benefit plans. So basically, you're hopefully saving more money on your premium, which is going to allow you to put money on a tax, on a pre-tax basis going into the HSA, which you can then have for the rest of your life. So it's so funny is not everybody. We talked earlier today on the radio. Not everybody turns 65. In a married couple at the same time.
Right.
So very often when I'm working with a married couple, I'm always kind of like, okay, you're this person. I'm basically, it's like a chessboard, putting everything together.
It is like,
yeah.
You also mentioned that married couples should think twice about retiring at the same time.
No comment.
Exactly. Look, these are great strategies we talk about on this show every week. Call the number on your screen if you'd like to come in. And really, how refreshing would it be to get a look at what your retirement could be? It's a comprehensive review. The opportunity is here. It's as easy as calling the number on your screen. As always, thanks so much for being with us and a part of this show, Financial Safari.